Hi, I'm Linda Wyatt. For my Sakwa visioning project, I decided to make a line of my own fabric. Back in the 1980s, I was a print stylist in the Garment Center in New York, but I worked for somebody else, and all the designs that I picked and that I printed had to do with my boss's idea of what he thought was beautiful. So for my visioning, I thought, what if I had my own line of fabric, and what if any design that was in my head could be printed and could be made into fabric. When I started, I thought that I would just print out little pieces from my computer and use the heat transfer paper to put the design onto cotton. And I did that for about the first 10 or 20. Then somebody in the visioning group told me about a company called Spoonflower that will print anything for you, and they can do small runs. They can do as small as a swatch or as big as 100 yards or even more. So for most of my fabrics, I sent them to Spoonflower to be printed. And I also discovered that there was a whole new technology. Since I left the fabric business, they have invented something called inkjet printing, which is very much like what comes out of your computer that you do on paper, except that they do it on fabric. The nice thing about inkjet printing is that there are no limitations as far as color and size of the pattern. Back when I used to work as a print stylist, I had to be limited by the size of the rotary screens, which are these things that go around and round and print the fabric. Inkjet is a completely different technology, so I didn't have to worry about how wide the repeat was, how long the repeat was, and I didn't have to worry about flattening out the color or limiting my color, because in the old days it was cheaper to print one color designs than 10 and 20 color designs, and you couldn't get any kind of watercolor effect. So what you see here is my year's work. I started out thinking I was going to do about one a week, which would be for a month, and I'd come up with about 50 designs for the whole year. What I ended up with was about 100, and the nice thing about the things that were printed at Spoonflower is that they're soft, they're washable, and you can, really wear them. You can make them into anything you want. They won't fade, they won't bleed. The things that I printed by myself out of my computer with the heat transfer sheets are stiff. They have great color. They have stiff, and you have to remember to flip the image because everything comes out backwards when you print it on the heat transfer paper and iron it onto cotton. The other disadvantage is you can't iron it. If you put an iron on this, it'll just all melt. And the color, the edges curl up too, so that is a disadvantage. However, you don't have to wait. You get immediate feedback on what works when it comes out of your computer. The other technique I tried was printing things directly from my computer onto fabric that had been cut 8.5 by 11 and ironed to a sheet of freezer paper for stability. And the black and whites came out pretty good when I did that. The colors did not come out good. They faded and got wishy-washy, and this is another one I did with that technique. But overall, I was really thrilled to find Spoonflower, and there's other companies besides that that can print fabric for people. I love the color, I love the design. I don't love the cost, it's a little bit expensive, but it was worth it for me to be able to see my own fabrics. I was really thrilled one day when I opened my Spoonflower account and found that somebody had ordered yardage on this particular fabric, which is one of my favorites. And I don't know what they made out of it. I haven't been in touch with them, but they ordered it on a very fine quality fabric, and I was really thrilled, and I got a portion of the sale, which I immediately put back into new designs. But it really validated that I love what I do, and I was pleased when several people started buying fabric of mine. The thing that I really found that, for me, it was really therapeutic to do this. I found it very relaxing to put things into repeat and to play around with them in Photoshop and in Quark Express, to flip the designs and repeat them. And you could just take just a little sketch, for instance. This was just a little doodle that I did one day while I was waiting for my daughter, and I had some markers and a little piece of paper, and I did the design, and then I put it in a mirror repeat. It just turned into something completely different than the little sketch. So you never know what you're going to end up with when you put a design in repeat. It's kind of magical, and it's really fun and relaxing. And for me, it was about doing the line. It wasn't about trying to sell this to a manufacturer, trying to run around and knock on doors of fabric companies and say, please buy my designs. It was just about my vision and what came out of me and what my kind of designs look like. And I really had a great time.